Hey, gang. I apologize today. I'm just dropping in while I'm in between stuff, mainly housework. Yeah, that shit never goes away. I dropped an earring somewhere, so we're just going with the one. It's going to be one of those days. So I've been watching everything that's going on. And again, you got Lady Hippy at the bar. We're here for entertainment purposes only. See how the old lady's doing today. If you see me, like me, hit the like, hit the bell, subscribe, share it with your friends. This crazy old lady on YouTube at the bar. Yes, I have my souvenirs, which I put on one of these keychains. And back when I used to go with my husband, who's um, an amazing truck driver, and he actually trained them to drive. So in between, I used to go with him. And we ended up being friends with both two owners that my husband ran. Actually, about 10 years on both. I mean, he was pretty much retired. Well, he was retired when he was the second one for 10 years. He's still there. He calls him boss. He used to run, he hired Robert as a driver, so forth and so on. They call him MacGyver because there's literally nothing he can't do if he feels up to it. And he has bad taste like the rest of us. And so, yeah, he's like this. Yeah, and of course, Pixie. She's here every day, just like me. Hoping to find my other earring. My husband just gave me it. It's kind of a set, so I get a little anxious when I can't find things, and I worried because I knew that the fitting behind it was loose. So, and I had that still in my ear. Is that amazing? Or you had the backing in still, but the earrings gone. So it's got to be right around me. So I'm trying to catch up, like I said. Um, I wanted to have a Coca Cola this afternoon. To me, it's afternoon. I get up before dawn, literally before dawn. Um, just I have all my life, and it didn't bother me. There it went. I'm not any good at that. I'm sorry, doing that's on top of everything else. Well, and my earphones pick up everything. So yeah, I'm deafening myself. So I was watching several things. The one being that I love my little Coca Colas. I don't like soda in cans. It could be a holdover from my youth because they were all bottled previously. But my daddy wouldn't let me have Coca Cola. We could have Pepsi Cola, but not a Coca Cola because people got addicted. He was so right, and I didn't know that till less than after he'd already crossed over, that he was more than right that they had put cocaine in them. So bless him. So I guess it's a holdover that I just don't care for my sodas in cans. It tastes like metal to me. The water tastes awful. I love Augusta. That story. And I was looking at what was on the news, what wasn't on the news, and I found several interesting things. I found people found the same bullet points that I did that are other podcasters. I won't shout out today. That there are two people. One was a woman in the audience. The other was a Secret Service agent who rushed over, moved people from in front of the stage, and then crouched down. There were no bullets fired at that point. Those bullets were fired after that. I had also noticed a group of three, then a rapid group of five, and I saw one man kind of break that down as per sound. So it was like chunk, 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 as the action of this rifle worked. The first three, and he was smart enough. He had to process that shit fast, folks. That's a nanosecond. You got to process. I've been shot. They're still shooting, and I got to get out because no Secret Service were near him. I also pointed that out. I pointed out there were another five rapid shots. And by the time they finished with the five rapid shots, this is 8 shots in a row, fairly quick, the Secret Service are finally at the podium. I didn't see any comlinks. Finally did on one. I saw there was a lot of 5'2" girls there to protect the 6'4" president with their bodies. I saw that when they did reach him, they jerked him up, and they're all at shoulder level. The girls down here, they're trying to help her out by putting arms over. Meanwhile, they're like, it seemed to me as if they popped him up, and he head and shoulders was up above them, no cover at all. And it's as if they said, "Look, you missed." They should be in jail for treason and attempted murder and murder. Because one of the men in the audience, the retired fireman, I can't remember his name, bless him, passed away shielding his family. And they would have been shot had he not done this. Nobody seems to be talking about that, but former President Trump. He had pointed out several other things. I saw the ladder and some footage from that section. Somebody had noticed this guy climbing this ladder and getting on the roof, and they had reported this, but nobody responded. And they had videotape of this ladder. Now there's no ladder. He didn't get in by a ladder. He must have got in through the air conditioning ducts and then popped up on the roof. But they did have agents inside, so we don't know how he could have gone inside. That magic bullet theory is working hard. So I was like, oh, really? I mean, how many people are this stupid? Yeah, nobody. It's just, I mean, they're really reaching to explain, one, why the girls were there. And I call them girls because they sure as hell were not a Secret Service detail. I wouldn't have had them in my foxhole. I'm an Army vet. I wouldn't, no, I'm 5'2". And I wouldn't have my no, you don't have my back. No. I'll watch my back rather than put your ass up in there. They look like they never had training. They look like Girl Scouts reaching for a freaking cookie. You know, touch me if I'm wrong here. I haven't seen any way to be wrong, but y'all can try that. I welcome any comment, any type of speaking about these subjects. You know, I generally don't drop videos unless I'm required to. In other words, somebody asks me. I do not make money on my channel. I didn't say I would be averse to it, just said I don't make it. You know, they may take it down. That's their. I don't want this shot glass. I don't want my German shot glass. It's bigger. And yes, this is where I take a break. Even my husband, he's in the man cave, and he's like, he's taking his break too. And he knows I'm allowed a little bit of stiffness, so he buys. Oh, geez, Louise, he usually buys these for me. Right now, everything is on the bar, as you can tell. But I always carry some kind of cloth with me everywhere. It's like Alice on the Brady Bunch. She always had a duster. I should have another one of those. I don't like them. They don't do anything. Then I tried the Swiffer. The best thing I ever used on wood floors, and my husband put in beautiful wood floors for me, painted all the walls and things. I love the blue he picked. And like overnight, he was still working, and he would go out for 2 or 3 days to come home for 36 hours to go back out. And when he was home for just a few days, sometimes a day and a half, he managed to get all this done. He had the furniture replaced, 2 China huts, and put me into one big one. And we got the bar, taking out the dining table and chairs, which took up a lot of room. It was big, had 6-seater, because we used to have a lot of people over. And back when the kids were living at home, and then even when they were younger, they and their either dates or whatever would come by. I'll have to make sure this isn't sticky later. Hence my reason for keeping towels, because sometimes I'm just an idiot. So we covered that. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm just not right sometimes. Ask anybody. They'll tell you. I'm wondering why, they're questioning this girl who's the director of the Secret Service. Buck stops there, right? No, not so much. She is indeed a professional politician. I've watched her being grilled and asked questions by the Secret Service. And she does that double speak of, I'm answering you, but I'm not really freaking saying nothing. It's so cute when the senators get mad. They get mad a lot in the last 8 years because they go, just yes or no. They say yes or no. Well, according to, I can't even do it. But in any event, so they were mobbed anyway by, I don't know, I think it was Senator Grassley and Senator here from Georgia, can't think of it, Marcy, something. It'll come to me. In any event, they were at a function, and they caught her, and she even tried to answer them with the political doublespeak that they have, saying a bunch of stuff and not being able to answer the question, but they act like they've answered the question. Oh, it's funny as hell. It really is funny. I still have a bit of an echo. Yeah, I'm everybody. So this is what you get. Turn it down. But yeah. And so we are now waiting to see why she hasn't resigned. Everybody's waiting. I think that I'm the best person to lead the Secret Service at this time. Ooh. The Secret Service receives billions in funding each year. They call this red ball. Actually, took my breath away this way. And as you can see, it's just a fireball. Actually, y'all remember those little red fireballs when you were growing up that were cinnamon, but they were almost hot. And that this was a big thing back in my day. I don't know if you remember it or if they even have them for you. And so, yeah, they have a big burst of cinnamon, but they have a bite. I couldn't tell you about the bite part. I have no idea. I just know that you get that burst of cinnamon with a little bit of heat behind it. And it was the same as those little balls. I bet they still have in Savannah when my daughter-in-law and I went for a couple days. I loved it. We had a great time. This girl, well, this young lady, I say young ladies, my kids are in their 40s, so no, I didn't start early. Well, kind of, sort of. I thought it was too early. Yeah. So she took me. She was very familiar with Savannah. She used to go with her parents um, every year, I believe. And she was amazing. We had the most incredible time. I mean, I just adore her anyway. She's a great, great young lady. And we it was the bee's knees. She took me everywhere. I had the best time, and she was the best one to go with if you're going to see Savannah because she knew it so well. So she took me to the candy makers. I didn't know where anything was. This young lady knew. She'd go around this corner and over here and behind this because Savannah is still historically kind of hasn't touched anything. And it's a beautiful place. And she got, I had booked the hotel, excuse me, straight downtown, right at the waterfront. And I didn't know at the time when I did this local place. And it was one of the older ones. Not the oldest, but older. And I want to go back with her because there's an older hotel that I wanted to stay in next time because she likes ghosts too. Not likes ghosts, but we both enjoyed looking after the paranormal, see what we can learn. And she knew where all the places were that were, very old, including the hotel we were in. When we came out, there was this beautiful sea, and we were right on the wharf of the pier. And one of the paddle boats came in. It's the gambling boat, but we never got to go because it was closed the whole time we were there. It was really sad. I'd like to go with my husband. We've been discussing that because he bought a big RV, big, big, big. I mean, it's like the house. Parts of it come out. It's like a wonder lodge. It's a beast. But he's been busy redoing all of that. He's put me in a beautiful marble side with a sink, and we've taken out most of the furniture because he put in different furniture. I think he's actually put different carpet in as well. He redid the marble areas for all that. It's beautiful, perfect. And this, like I said, it's big, big, big. You've got like a living room because you extend that side out, you've got more room. Then you got way in the back is the bedrooms and another bath. And it's just, I love this thing. So he got that so I could go because I really have trouble sitting upright for even a few hours. My back just goes out if we drive. I've got a couple hours and then I'm out. When I do get out of the car, I can't move. I'm ready to cry. The pain is unrelenting. Uh, any of us who've suffered, as they call it, from acute pain, meaning it never goes away. I even told my doctor I wouldn't go to the VA for like 2 years. I kept trying natural supplements, turmeric and ginger and so forth. And I was able to keep it like steady at bay. I could deal with it. But then it like shut up like a volcano and I couldn't. And I went back to the VA and I explained it to them. There's different levels of pain. Yes, there are. The problem with acute pain is that it's not going to quit. It's like, pain of that magnitude. It's like I would rather have a baby like I did before without drugs. I would rather have it because it's going to stop. The pain's going to go, it's going to stop. The pain that I'm in and many others, uh, we know it's not going to stop. And we pray it doesn't get worse that day or that evening. Yesterday, I went to the store. And we have a lot of cats, bless Robert. And so God provides, meaning Robert does. My husband pays a lot for food and stuff, both for those inside and the ones outside. We have quite a few outside. And I've seen a couple of domestic ones come where I think they think the food's better. It's like, what are you doing? Get out of here. And so, yeah, I picked up, we buy the 30 to 40 pound bags. If we go to the box store, we can pick up the 40. The regular stores, you pick up 30. there's 40 cans at the box store, 60 cans. But usually, I mean, my husband's there, so he'll pick up all the heavy stuff. Well, I didn't want to bother him yesterday. He was not feeling well, and I got it in the trunk and got it out the shelves. I had already done all that, so I parked it. I should have pulled up closer to the steps, I think. Instead, I pulled up in the driveway, and I had to walk across the yard to get inside. And it wasn't the cans; it was the 30 pounds that I picked up and shouldered it, like a wounded warrior kind of thing. It's easier to carry on your shoulders because it's a moving thing. And so, by the time I pulled it up and walked in, had to open the door and all that, holding the stuff and all of the groceries. I'm not even sure what the canned food weighs, but it was heavy. Milk and all that stuff. Very heavy if you have a couple of them and other stuff. Yeah. So I'm in a hurry to get it inside because I don't want to wake him if he's sleeping and he was not feeling well. So I didn't want him to come on and mess with him. So I managed, and that was the last two things I got in was the cat food, and I got in the house and I put it all down. But I knew it was in trouble. I didn't say anything. Um, yeah, my husband gave me a scolding for not telling him because he would have come at least opened the door. But yeah, I didn't want to bother him, dumbass, because then by 6 o'clock last night I was screaming pain. I had to jump into Epsom salt baths and pray and take a lot of pills. And luckily, my prescription did come in yesterday because I had sent a note off to my doctor. This shit's still ain't here, which is the gabapentin that I take to block the pain. It's not a narcotic. It works on the receptors of the pain, so it blocks it. Well, that works great for about 12 hours. There's 24 hours in a day, and you're hoping to sleep on some of that last 12. So I complained about that because I needed to. I was going to have her, we've only increased the dosage on that once, and I was going to have her increase it. And instead, when she looked at my back, she touched my back. I was like, jeez, don't do that. Nothing can touch my back. My husband can't touch my back. It's that painful, especially the area she picked, which was right in the middle of my back. And she touched that. I about came out of my hair. I was like, don't do that again. I always wanted to tell doctors, if you don't even tell them, just when they do that and you're in pain and they go, does this hurt? I want to get a baseball bat and slam it and say, did that hurt? Yeah, tell me your pain level. I always want to do that every time I go. Because somebody always asks me what my pain level is. Let me get a baseball bat. I'll show you. I told them that too. I had a procedure done one time. There was a 5-man team, and they knock you out for the procedure. And I didn't like apparently what everybody was doing, so I fought off 5 people. So much so that I was told about it by them, that they even tried to gather together to protect themselves and protect me because I was all hooked up to everything. Now, apparently, I snatched the IV and everything and just went for them. So the next time they did it, they used a stronger anesthetic and more people. Because a month later, I still had to have the procedure done. So a month later, I went back up and they were like, we're ready for you. I still woke up like 2 seconds before they could get me out of the room. And they were like, everybody was very cautious with me after that. If you anesthetize me and you mess with me, she just might kick all your all's asses. So, old lady, by this was just last year. So it was a bitch to have to redo it again because of course, they billed me for the first attempt. After all, I was trying to kill him, so I really couldn't say nothing about that one. But to go back to everybody else, so we know my back's bad. Everybody knows. Yeah, you love me. I can tell. Yeah, I know the love keeps coming. Just send it in here. Hit live chat today. I got live chat up, share, like. Don't like, I give a shit. But the channel wants y'all to do something. So y'all jump in there and do something. Come talk to me. I'm dying to get somebody that just disagrees with me because I would love to pick this apart. I see these people are paying $85,000 a year for college. That's just one at USC. Um, like basic tuition is $85,000 a year. And these people, I can't call them students. I just can't because they're so stupid. They have no education and they're sitting in an Ivy League school that they're defacing with red paint and tints. And I'm like, what the shit? Where's the parents? Even my son said, "Ma, you would have killed me." I was like, "Oh yeah, baby, you you went down." And you'd pay me $85,000 back. I'll have a price with that. So my boy knows me. His mama ain't gonna take that shit. I don't know why I'm gonna take that. No. Where are these parents? Slap them once. Slap them twice. Slap them again. They'll quit that shit. Follow the money. Those of them that are there from Palestine with a visa, deport their ass, which is what they're finally doing in many countries now. England being one of them. I don't know if anybody's noticed because they don't have it on any of the political channels that they call news. None of them are up there saying, okay, we got 3 volcanoes, huge eruptions. Anybody seen it? It was show of hands. Yeah, stop watching the news channels. They're not. They're political channels. Don't watch them. Everybody quit watching. Everybody you know, tell them don't watch that. Go over to CBN, the Christian Broadcast Network. No, I'm not saying so because it's Christian. I'm saying so because it's Walter Cronkite type news. And Gordon Robertson is very good. He's very, very good. Now, yes, sometimes they will pray for Israel in particular, and I agree with this that anybody should be allowed to pray at any time, anywhere. If you don't agree with that, you're able to just switch the channel. But for me, I get real news in real time from CBN, also from the IDF, also from the German news. But you can't. I had to go out of the country except for the CBN broadcast, which is the Christian Broadcast Network, and Mr. Robertson, Mr. Gordon Robertson is one of their main newscasters, and he's very good. And I was surprised because I don't believe in evangelism, and his father was an evangelist, a very important one, Mr. Robertson. Um, but they do pray, and I don't have a problem with that. They don't ask us to, they say you can join if you want to or not. They don't push their agenda on other people. And sometimes prayer is indeed what do you need. I too I call them genie wishes because, like now with my earring, I say, Oh Lord, please help me find that because I'm an idiot. And lo and behold, I'll find it. And I've gone and looked for things like that and not said anything. I lost my license a few weeks ago. So I called my husband. He was out trying to get some things done. So I called my husband. I'm like, I freaking lost my license. It took me like 2 weeks to get it. I went to renew it, and they had the gold star now. Mine was a 10-year license. It didn't have that. So they needed birth certificates and, divorce decrees and marriage license. They needed to know everything, which I don't understand, but I managed to get all of that. Being an adopted child, it's not easy, and I couldn't find my birth certificate. I had to have my DD 217, and where your service is what they give you when you're out, and then you take that to show who you are when you were served. And so I had copies of that. I could find that, not the birth certificates. I had to go through Cook County and pay a lot. Send that bitch to me overnight. I had to overnight it because I was trying to get my license, and the other one's going to expire like a week later. So it took a lot of effort. It took a lot of time. And here I go and lose it 2 years later. I'm like, what the shit did I do? So the whole house has been dumped out, and I'm cleaning everything because I know that's how you find something. If you have any clutter and you've misplaced something, you're not going to find it by picking up the clutter and looking. You're just going to have to clean your way around everything. And you eventually, hopefully, will find it. And I did. I was an idiot. I had gone to the Social Security office where I needed my license, and I had come in and done a podcast. I had set it over into one of my logbooks. And here I was frantically looking. And in my mind, I was like, okay, last time you had it, and tried to call to see if they had found anybody that might have turned it in because I knew that was the last time I had it out. And it was. That was the same day. But I did find it. But my poor husband, he's like, what do you mean you lost your license? You just don't know, people. I lose everything. If I go around outside, I get lost. You have to tie a string to me or something. I'm trying to get to a liver moment, a little bit more engaged because we have so much going on. And they're not saying, oh, I can't see my new rose. It's the cutest little rose my husband bought me. I love getting these little things now. He's always buying me something, but I can't see this well on camera. I'll fix that sometime tomorrow. I fidget when I get up here. Again, I saw the senators grilling the Secret Service director. And this is a presidential appointee. I had to look it up. Why she's still there, I don't know. She should have done resigned. And so, and again, the detail that was supposed to be there, the police, everybody, all of them should be accountable for treason, murder, attempted assassination, and so on. Somebody needs to be in jail because they tried to kill him. And you can see there were a couple of people that reacted to this, excuse me, before it happened. And then, of course, all the shots are fired, and suddenly the Secret Service is down there pulling the president up. He's a foot and a half taller than all of them. That's why you can see him do the fisting. So if a real shooter had been there, he wouldn't have made it. They didn't try to protect him. And Trump's a big man and a West Pointer, and he's military, prior military. He's a veteran. So he knew live fire. It took him a nanosecond, but he dropped by the time the first one hit him. Had he not done this, he would have been dead. He still came within a microsecond of this. So they meant to kill him, of course. And they're saying that, okay, they didn't see this building less than 400 feet away. Perfect line of fire. Nothing obscuring the target. They didn't secure that. They didn't see a ladder, red and silver, perked against that wall because now it didn't exist. I'm not sure where the ladder went. It's like the door of the kitchen in the Bobby Kennedy assassination. Yeah, I suppose they shot him right in the head 3 or 4 times, but there was a lot of other bullets out there from that gun. And the kitchen doorway where he had come in to go through the back and see the servants and all this. I call them servants, but the restaurant employees. So yeah, there was more involved in his death. Same with President Kennedy, Marilyn Monroe. I could talk for days about those. I investigated them most of my life. You just can't get around. They destroyed everything. So again, the Black and Granny Zapruder film. You just can't get past what they allowed you to see, which is enough to maybe pass what they say happened and what you can find out happened. And in this particular case, everybody was filming. And there was footage put up on YouTube. And it showed the ladder up against the building. It showed the shooter. They blur him out. And they told them over an hour. They were told, this guy's climbing this building. This dude is climbing this building. He's supposed to be, this guy is climbing the building. Meanwhile, nobody does anything. And a man got killed here. A family man, a father, grandfather, former and retired firefighter. But he threw himself on his wife and children and died protecting them from that bullet. Or maybe more than one. Also, several people have been investigating this by sound, and I went through that too to make sure I heard 8 shots. And there's a night that seems like to me is just some time goes by. And then it sounds to me like a night, but I can't say so. But it does sound like there's different sections, which would be 3 shooters or at least 2. Even I can agree with 2 shooters because the difference in the sounds. Definitely rapid fire. The fire, from the 3rd bullet to the 8th bullet is bing, 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 bing. There's no, there's no pause. I've shot an automatic. You don't forget this shit. But I guess they figured, no, we got away with this. Nobody's going to notice. It was the guys from Iran. Really? Really? That's the best you got? Oh, it was an Iranian plot. Well, I don't give a damn who's plotting to do it. The point was, you suck. And you're a traitor. All of you are traitors. You committed treason. You tried to kill him. It's attempted assassination. It's murder. It's attempted murder. The others that were shot there were 2 others that were shot and one that was killed. I don't hear them talk about that, but Mr. Trump did. He went to the funeral of the fallen firefighter. He went to his funeral, and he kept it when he was at the DNC or the RNC, whatever it is. He had him up there, his jacket and helmet, and was thanking him again because he died, as far as Trump's concerned, in his place. Now that's a dude who's got some stand up to him. Not only did he react, saved his own life because the Secret Service did. I saw that one had gotten their gun out, but they couldn't figure out how to put it back. So somebody knew this was coming down. They sent a detail of mainly women who could not shield him by their bodies. They were too short. They were a foot and a half too short. It's like this. That's what the one girl was doing, like this. And then the guy like stops her and puts his arm over. But he wasn't tall enough. None of them. Where were the cons at this particular time? Why are they saying now that this guy got up there through the air conditioning ducts? But they beat that they had because they say that the building was secured and there were police inside the building. What they didn't notice, well, apparently they didn't notice him crawling up, and now they're saying he got through the air conduction ducts and got up there. And see, you didn't see nothing, you didn't hear nothing. You figured that was a freaking squirrel. So yeah, everybody was in on that. They were in on that. For those that assigned the detail, which would apparently be the director, and again, I don't know why she hasn't resigned or been forced to do so. Personally, she should be taken into custody and stripped of her office. I don't know why that can't be done either. I need to find time to look that shit up, and I haven't. I hope one of y'all do. Let me know if you can. Throw it in the comments. Now, the other thing I noticed, again, there is no news in America. There's political channels. There's no news channels. It's like the Weather Channel has decided they have to act every day. Weather isn't checked, 2 minutes every half hour. They're not on the camera then. It's just a strip that comes by. And they're paying so much money, it's ridiculous from cable and satellite companies because they won't do it for less money. But they're not doing the damn weather. They're doing everything but even I at first was going to their channel because I had a little bit more information than I could find on the political channels. Boy, some people are pissed off too by those. I have been enjoying the hell out of that. A couple of I call them lefties. I don't know why, but that's what I've heard them called. And you got the giggle girl who's apparently the president now. I freaking don't know. I know Biden said he wasn't going to run. And he was going to leave it for Kamala, the giggle girl. Yeah, Giggle Harris. Yeah, I call it a giggle girl. I mean, it's all she does. And she says the same sentence over and over and over. I mean, literally for freaking 50 God bless minutes. It seems like you could put together a compilation of her speaking at 15 different places or even 50, and she's got the same damn line. And she screws that up half the time, but she's always giggling. I'd like to know what the hell they got this girl on because she's a giggle meister. Supposed to be the border czar, or we don't use those terms now. That was during Obama's reign. Yeah, I'm not going to say that was a presidency. That was Obama's reign. Mr. King, good to be the king. Now, who do you think's been running this shit behind Biden? Biden can't stand up. Have you seen how many times he falls? Have you seen him grab him? Even Obama, when he was running, he ran from his basement. I think he came out twice. In any event, it was like an Obama rally. It wasn't for Biden. And yet he did speak or something to that effect. And I tuned that shit out. And I turned in time to see Obama grab him by the hand and leave him off stage as if he were 3. And he hadn't even did the coup to win the office. It was a coup. They stole the election. How many ballots were thrown in? I don't think that counts technically, but because of the delegates at the Electoral College who actually voted the president. Look it up. No hate mail. Just look it up. That's exactly what happens. Because some states have too many people. The other states have smaller amounts of people. So we have to do delegates. So it's a fair election. Really? How many people believe that shit? Show of hands. Yeah, nobody I know. Nobody I know. And yet, you've got this run on the areas that let you vote. Wherever you're going to vote. There's a run to get there. Why? Your vote doesn't count. There's no need for you to vote. The Electoral College votes in the president before you get a chance to get out your house. Look it up. Look it up. So, yeah. Why isn't everybody pissed off? They stole the election already. And they put an idiot in. For one, he's an idiot. They're saying now that he's just old. Man's an idiot. He's a blooming freaking idiot. Have you seen how long he's been there? He was a senator in the 80s. Did he get shit done? No. Did he make millions? Yes. Was he paid millions? Yes, but not from being a part of the government, not from being a senator, vice president, none of that. You don't make millions. What you do if you're crooked. and you're a traitor. You can make millions. You can funnel it through a bunch of banks and 9 members of your family, but yeah. Now, I don't know what the hell they were paying him to keep Jill Biden quiet. Oh, Dr. Jill. No, folks, she's not a real doctor. She's one of them PhD bitches. No, I have no respect for her. None. No, I don't have any. I don't need to have any. No. She's been using the husband too, running him around, make as many millions as she can before he falls apart completely. And he fell apart completely like 2 years ago. They just prop him up nowadays. He has to follow red lines and stuff to get to a bathroom in the White House. They might have to lead him by now. I don't know, maybe wears Depends. It's just like I'm so embarrassed for my country. I can't hardly think about it. I lose sleep at night, going, "Oh my God, what tomorrow's going to bring." So I hope everybody else is. If there's anybody that disagrees with me, throw it in the comments. I got live chat up. I'll be happy to talk to you. I would love to talk to you. Like these kids, they're paying $85,000. They don't know what river or sea they're talking about. From the river to the sea. What river? What sea? Do they know? It's the Jordan and the Mediterranean. Just for everybody who doesn't know, it's the Jordan and the Mediterranean. If you're going to let these bitches come out there and waste $85,000, at least teach them what the hell they're calling about. What does that call me? River to the sea. What does that mean? It means genocide on a huge scale. Every Israelite dead. And this is how they're taught in school. And now they're in America. They're in almost all of the EU. They're in the UK. And what are they doing, people? Have any idea? Show of hands. How many times have you seen police cars burning? Show of hands. Yeah. How many of you seen universities attacked? Yeah. How many of you have seen police be shot in the head and told they can't be patrolling there and they quit? Yeah. In New York, one woman called the police. I forget what it was, but she killed somebody. It took them 9 freaking hours to get there. Well, I think they still come in Georgia. I had called one. No, I'm being facetious. Yeah, I'm being a smart ass. Again, if you've seen this, and I love this too, like I said, how they covered it to begin with. Oh, he was startled by something that went by his ear. Yeah, it was a fucking bullet. He was a little bit startled, bitch. Get off the TV. I mean, where's the outrage at this point? Yeah, I've seen many podcasters, myself included, going, "Oh, this was wrong on so many levels." My husband lets me have, I say this every time, my little cigars and my little stiffener, and make sure that's there for me. He's a really grand guy. He's right there. He's Johnny on the spot. And considering the poor man's been keeping up with me for, oh, guys, I think our anniversary next month is 35th years, and we have like 33 or 4 for going, so it'd be 35, I guess, and then some. And he has not yet flipped over, died, any of those things. He's still right there. My MacGyver too. That's what they call him. If I have something that goes wrong, I know he can fix that. A watch, a piece of I take it to him. My car, yeah. So, and we didn't want to last year. We didn't change the title into my name as $80 versus $20 to put it in my husband's name. So this year we're putting it in for my birthday. We're paying the $80. Yeah, that hurts. But you gotta love them. How many people think they pay too much for these things, even in Georgia? Yeah, a lot of us. Did it stop them? Oh, hell no. I don't know, folks. You just can't make this shit up. And like I said, most of us have gone on, like me, many of us that are podcasters. I mean, the ones generally that make money that came from certain television shows or news places that are no longer news and they just were fired or what have you. Lots of them were fired. I saw Fox go through like 20 folks in 3 months. I was like, she's been there 12 years and they gone. And literally been watching Fox since their inception. They started out as a cable channel in San Antonio, Texas. They were free, like PBS. And now suddenly you can't get PBS. It's supposed to be free. You cannot get it. You got to go through Acorn or BBC or, yeah. You got to love how they've cut that shit off. This shit's all in the air. It wasn't any different today than it was when I was 12, and it was turned the channel. You didn't pay shit, and Lucy was on, or baseball, or, or daytime drama. My mother loved those soap operas. Couldn't stand them myself. She loved them. As long as she was happy, I was good to go. Anybody that gets through the depressions, World War I, World War II, they got my vote. I mean, I'm good. I don't care what they want to do. They can do it. And they adopted me and my sister and my older brother. Actually, he was their nephew, but they still adopted him. And so, I had great respect for them. My father was World War II Pacific Marine in Hawaii, so he was a hero. I love my uncle, his brother, who passed away fairly early in my age group there, because I have to say the truth. I am the only one left of my immediate family, and I have my son and my grandchildren. Those like sisters, brothers, nieces, nephews, any of those, they're all gone. It's just me and my son and my two grandchildren, blood related. And then I have my beautiful stepdaughter and my step grandchildren. I'm very, very proud of. My one young boy, Ezra, he's gone off and he trained to be a medic after boot camp. And he was trained at Fort Sam Houston. And I used to train the nurses there, besides run the Academy of Health Sciences, third division. I used to do that. They replaced me with three people. I was so pissed. When I got tyranny orders, they replaced me with three people. Which on my 214 I can't find, which means I never did it. So you just can't argue with these people. It doesn't do you any good. You can argue, you spend a lot of money, you're still going to have the same result. They don't have it, you're not going to get it. I know in my heart what happened, and I'm good with that. We were the first women to train with the men instead of being a whack. They disbanded the whack corps, kept us in a hotel for 6 weeks, and parked our ass at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. We had Vietnam Airborne Rangers for drill sergeants. We know they were having a damn good time. That's a story I'll tell you. So yeah, I wasn't going to stay on long. I always say that when I pop up here because again, my husband generally, when he's not feeling the way, still likes to make potato snakes. I don't know what that's about, but I'm good. I'm good. I'm not cooking it. I'm good with that. There was again, I wanted to touch base on certain things I'd heard. Italy, no, I'm sorry, Iceland, was Iceland or Italy? I can't remember. It was one of the two, and the coverage is not very good. It's You got four active volcanoes that are major league erupting here. This isn't a tiny thing. And then one of them, they had over 1,000 earthquakes. I think it was Italy's Stromboli. But it might have been Iceland's because they're losing it. They've evacuated everybody. They think they're going to lose the island. Yeah, Iceland's our island, or at least most of it. But with 1,000 earthquakes in a day, 1,000, over 1,000. I think it was 1,200 something in one day. Not on MSNBC, CBS, NBC, CNN, MSNBC. None of them. I didn't even find it on the Weather Channel, which it's got to be screwing with both the weather and planes. You can't fly through such shit. I mean, there's too much ash and stuff. I mean, it's huge eruptions. These are not. It's a little. No, these are huge eruptions, huge explosions, and continuous exploding. I saw a pyroclastic flow, and there was a boat. And they were filming. I was like, pedal faster, because these things fast. They're like 300 miles an hour, and this is what took out Pompeii and Herculaneum. They would have had some survivors had not this pyroclastic flow come through. It blows your brain. It's that hot. I mean, they know they have the skeletons and their brains exploded. It's terribly horrific, but at the same time, you should know. Yet I'm still seeing people going up there as a tourist so they can film it. Yeah, I'm going to pay $40,000 so I can go over here and film a volcano until I'm nearly dead. And expect someone to rescue me. Yeah, I mean they do that. Actually, happened to be a bad time. Some tourists were caught, and several died. Many were horrifically burned. Rescued again by the boats that brought in tourists. They all rushed to the scene to try to get them out of there, and they were successful. But these people were severely injured, and like I said, several died. In any event, this whole thing is going on again. I don't see anything. I don't hear anything, except for like the news programs I listed. So if you can find the information, I did see some on YouTube that kind of compiled a few. It let us know what's going on there. I don't. I think Iceland's going to end up evacuating even more people because they've already done so, started it. Um, I do know that airlines cannot go through that crap. If they do, there's a problem. I mean, the airline will come down, and this stuff is nasty, and it will take out your plane. You can't fly through these ash clouds. You're dead if you do. I mean, literally, this is not something to play with. And there's four of them now that are going off. I'm like, oh my God. The fourth one erupted in Japan. I can't remember exactly where, but you could check and see. Or ask me, I'll throw it in the comments. I could get you a link. So I've been freaking out about that. They're still screaming about the Yellowstone um, mass crater they have already, and where they thought they had one magma chamber, there's now three. Huge, 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 huge. If it blows like it did in its ancestry, it will be a near ELE, an end of life event here on the planet. It will take out the planet. We'll be thrown into an ice age, so forth and so on. It's just, check it out. It's bad, 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 and yet they're right there. If it actually misses with the Cascadia fault line, then that's the fault line that runs up California, you know, all these cities and states up through here. Well, they'll be toast because the tsunamis are rolling on the Cascadia line now. It's a fault line. It's a bad, bad thing. It's a fault line with one piece of land hitting another, and it would lift it. So if it does go, it's going to go in a major way. They have kids who they teach them how to run from the tsunami, hopefully to get there fast, that they have enough time. These are not things I would let my kid go through. If they told me my kid had to go through a earthquake and tsunami drill, we'd be moving. Oh, I went through these when I was a young girl. We had tunnels, and they were nice, the size of a street, big tiled in tunnels, and it was great because we could use those. We had my son, my husband too. I took him to my school, and he said I went to a resort, not a school. We had our own swimming pool. We did fencing. We did all this stuff that nobody down in the South does. The South is bad. I'm changing. Wow, this is why I'm so proud of them, my kids, that they got through this and they got their education, and they now work in big areas. In my son's case, a top secret areas. They had to interview me. That was fun. So, but they all got out. That was the thing for me, is they all got out. And there's certain places here in Georgia. I swear they're evil. You, you should never go there, and you should never stay there. If you have to go through it, you can pray and throw some salt or whatever on your way, holy water. Just get out. So I'm very proud of them that they made it through the abysmal school system in Georgia and the total thieving graft of all of the politicians. They are all dirty. From the attorney general to the governor, they're all dirty. And they've been outed in most cases. So I have something to back up what I'm saying here. Just you can't find it on the news. I grew up in, went to school at Thornton Township, and now Thornton Township is on the news because there's a certain super mayor who's been stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars. Mind you, her salary jumped from 25,000, I believe, to $300,000 a year. And my God, it's good to be the queen. That's a good job. You can get it. So everybody, I mean, you can see the difference when she was running. It was a T-shirt, not so great. Did her own makeup. So now suddenly she's in awesome clothes, and hair's done well, and makeup. So yeah, that's not done by her. So Dalton, city of Dalton, and I used to walk from my place here. We lived in South Holland and in Harvey. They had a trouble mixing those two up, and we would walk to Dalton because there was a Ben and Franklin there, which is today's dollar store, and I would go and get the big bag of little donuts, little white donuts, and whatever else I could find for $1. I'd have $3, $4. It was like a 4 hour walk up and back in the heat. We did it anyway. So this is where all this is taking place, is in Dalton. And I have not lived there since I was in high school. And, graduated at the third year of high school. So I haven't been there for a long time, like My parents retired, so I went there. Went to college. I also graduated a second time. I was so very bored. Nothing there. They didn't. I think they had a post office in a gas station. They didn't have much of anything. I had to go to Carbondale to go to college, but yeah, that was fun. So you got all this stuff going on at the same time, and you got no news, so you don't know what everybody's doing. You know that everybody's corrupt in Georgia, so you don't want to mess with that. And retired, as a matter of fact, for both of us here in Augusta, you really can't drink the water. Black moldy things, streamers pull out of your water. It's the damnedest thing. I was using a humidifier because at certain times of the year, in particular the summer, the air quality is not good. You need to add moisture. So I did this, and I took the bowl, and I was like, "What the?" There's a lot of black in this thing. I mean, just tons. It was black. It was sections, like little balls, big balls, little balls of black. So I peeled it out, and I'm looking at it, and you pick it up, and it's mold, black mold in the water. And you can't get them to do anything. But we spend an extra $10 a month because they told us that was the charge indefinitely for storm drains. It's for storm drains. It's like it hasn't stormed in 4 years. When is this charge going to be done? Oh, it's indefinite. Okay, well, yeah. And my son pays more because it's based on the footprint of the house. So he's got a big house, so he pays even more. This is not for your water. This is not for services. This is for storm drains. Storm, I don't know. It's hush money. It's shakedown money. It's mob money. It's the same thing. Same thing. And it's not just the civilians or homeowners. This is restaurant owners. This is everybody. So they're making billions. I know they're making billions. This has been happening for 5, 6 years now. And this charge for every home, every business, everybody that gets water. And the water can't be drunk. You can't even boil it. I'm having a fit because you should see what I go through to make coffee. And my husband makes sure I have distilled water and all that, but it bits me out. It really I get hot about that every time I use water. It's expensive. You can't really feed your pets and get the right water to them. You're having to ration and stuff. So it sucks. But then I see California's on fire and I'm like, okay, I'm not as bad off as that. California is on fire every year. I don't know what they're doing wrong, but somebody needs to be fired. It's like this the Secret Service director. She's been cornered by senators at this outing, and she literally walks away, and they're following her. One of them, the governor for, I mean, the senator for Georgia, she's running to catch up. As cute as it could be. Marjorie Green, I think is her name. Yeah, Marjorie Green. Funny girl. I like her. She's fiery. So they all run behind this woman, Kimberly something. Starts with a C. And you know who I'm talking about. She runs on up there. And people, these guys had comlinks on. They were Secret Service. Damn Skippy. And they stepped out and stopped these senators from running. She goes out and closes the door. And one of the, I think it was Marjorie Green, Senator Green, that said, well, if you'd have had this kind of protection on the former president, Mr. Trump, he might not have been shot. I believe it was the girl from Georgia. And I was saying the same thing when I watched the clip. I was like, you guys have been that good. And she said it almost the same time I did. It was spooky. But she didn't come back out. And now she's again being grilled in front of the Senate. And she has no shame. She has no remorse. None of that. Calm as a cucumber. Just double speak politician talk all the way around these guys. Never answers anything. They're always giving her a question that's yes or no. Yes or no. That's all. And she's doing the best she can to waste all their time. The time is limited for each senator that speaks. Same way, I believe, for the House. It's usually the senators that conduct these hearings. And she's walking around because she knows they don't have but X amount of minutes per person. So she just walks around that 4 or 5 minutes saying nothing. Well, I believe if we looked at here and this one here and that one there, she's saying nothing. And it's pissing them off. Yeah. I hope to God that somebody gets through. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know what people are going to do to protest this. Even to do peaceful protests right now is a mess. The country's in a mess. I hope to God that Mr. Trump, I hope he could fire them all and put his own detail in there, I guess, because he's still a target. And if he wins, he better wear Kevlar and have 15 guys that are 6'6", so they can block him with those bodies because they couldn't do that on the 8th or the 7th of July. Beginning of this, they couldn't do that. They were all too short, especially the women. I did see one girl with a weapon. They'd already put him in the car before she got the weapon out. I'm not sure who she was going to shoot. Just, I can't make this up. But I did say I'd be quieter today, and already I've got my hour out. And so, yeah, I'm going to have to go, guys. You can still throw the comments in. I didn't catch anybody on live chat today, but it's the middle of the week, so I didn't really expect to see too many of you. For those of you who are with me, who've seen me, and so forth, God love you. God keep you, all of you, your families, your friends. May God grant you peace and security, and grant me some too. In the meantime, I'm going to go and put my other hat on and be a housekeeping. Uh, Thinking I'm like 5 people, so I'm going to try not to do too bad today. For those of you, like I said, that just saw me, please hit the like. If you like what I'm doing, hit the share, hit the comments. I'd love to speak to you guys. I don't get as many as I'd like to speak to you, but it helps the channel. So, if nothing else, hit the like, hit the dislike, show me that you're here. And meanwhile, like I said, God keep all of you. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Toodle pip.